That Accies have shown their defensive susceptibilities to free kicks throughout this season. They got caught from got the balls in from wide positions against Celtic, conceded a goal from a corner last week against St Mirren. Weir. Thompson. Kenny Miller. He was able to turn. How costly will that be? Broadfoot thought that Mendes was closer to him as he let the ball run. Miller using his body cleverly to get there ahead of Lucas Akins. Mensing left his foot in on Thompson.
Yeah, Hamilton's sitting pretty deep at this stage.
Came off Swales, Bagheera with Beasley outside him. Been able to get DeMarcus Beasley into the game, really.
Yeah, you're right, Jim, they haven't managed to get him into the game, but he's not managed to get himself into the game either. And now Hamilton, as I said, just sitting a little bit deeper, trying to see out the last 5 minutes of this first half.
Thompson. Boyd. Broadfoot had found himself some space. He's got 4 blue shirts ahead of him. Among the Miller's had a push. It is a penalty. Blatant push on Kenny Miller. And a penalty to Rangers.
Absolutely. You can see it a mile away, and it's a lovely ball in from Broadfoot. Off the flat of the foot, you can see there. Simple. McClenaghan, absolutely stupid to do that, so close to half-time. So blatant, right in front of the referee. There's never going to be anything else than a penalty. Boyd is given his chance.
Wasn't given the opportunity for Scotland. Takes the opportunity for Rangers. And they're back on level terms just before half-time in a slightly fortuitous manner. But Trent McClenaghan, on his full SPL debut for Hamilton, will be ruining that moment for a while.
Yeah, well, there's nothing more dangerous than a striker with a point to prove, and you could see that he was determined to find the net there. The goalkeeper's unlucky, chooses correctly, but he just can't get enough on it. And Boyd back on the score sheet. But I did say just before that goal that Hamilton were sitting a little bit deeper, just trying to see things out. That's always dangerous. They were so deep they allowed Broadfoot to play that lovely ball in under no pressure.
The Rangers' first shot on target in the game results in a goal. As did Hamilton's. Chris Boyd's 5th of the season, and he takes his tally for Rangers to 76 goals in 116 games.
Well, let's not mess about. It's been a very flat first half performance from Rangers.
Better this time from Beasley. His intended target was Pedro Mendes, cleared by Mensing.
As I say, it's not been the best from the away side, but it looks like they're going to go in at half-time, 1 each.
That's the perfect illustration of just how windy it is. A win in Rangers' favour in the first 45 minutes, but arguably too hard to even be harnessed at all. Bagheera. for taking his frustration out on the Hoardings. There's not as much frustration for Rangers as there would have been before that Trent McClenaghan push on Miller. Here's Mensing.
He just showed the young fullbacks inexperience. He's never going to get away with that, this standard of football. But it has been a very good first half for Hamilton. I'm sure Billy Reid will have positive things to say to his troops in the interval.
Pushed by Gibson. Alan McGregor waving everybody forward. One last opportunity for Rangers to get themselves ahead. It's in towards Boyd. Cleverly guided on towards Beasley. Pedro Mendes, no handball. It's a disappointing cross with Boyd lurking in space at the far post.
But Mendes has struggled with the conditions, did again there.
Just 1 minute of time to be added on at the end of the first 45 minutes. I'm sure Pedro Mendes didn't necessarily have too many days like this when he was growing up on the shores of southern Portugal. Long way from Cascais to Lanarkshire. Davis. Bloody challenge from Gibson. Akins using his body to try and wrestle himself a little bit of space away from Bagheera. And the Algerian judged to have pulled him back. Alex Neil with the free kick again, just trying to get it into a dangerous area, but that's the last action of the first half, which has been highly entertaining, if extremely difficult for the players. Brian Easton giving Hamilton the lead moments after they'd hit the bar, a lead that lasted for just over a quarter of an hour before Trent McClenaghan's push on Kenny Miller gave Chris Boyd the opportunity from the penalty spot. And Dougie McDonald, who has officiated the game very well in trying circumstances, hardly noticed him. He gets the second half underway. Here's Pedro Mendes. Neither side making any changes at half-time. First long ball forward, intended for Beasley, and out of play for a goal kick.
It might be slightly ominous for Hamilton that Rangers, they haven't started quickly in really any of their matches this season. It's all been about second half performances. A lot of their goals coming late on in the second half, but they do have the wind to deal with. You should think that if they can get the ball in behind the Hamilton defence, then it will hold up for the likes of Kenny Miller. It's far more difficult in the first half to do that.
Pedro Mendes. Davy Weir, now Papach. Ball forward towards Boyd, it just didn't quite have enough on it. Kenny Miller able to win the second ball, get himself into a promising position, albeit that Akins stopped him getting himself into a shooting position. In from Papach. Mendes. Well, one back by Gibson. And then Akins pushed by Bagheera.
Akins doing well, just taking the pressure off his side for a minute. And they are sitting a little bit deeper, Hamilton, in the second half, maybe because of that win factor.
Scott, you talk about the disproportionate number of goals that Rangers score in the second half. It's 10 out of 15 so far this season. At one stage last year, they'd scored 20 of 24 league goals in the second half of games, and still At the end of October, that run continues. That Rangers haven't scored in the first quarter of a game at all yet this season. David Weir's 24th minute goal at Aberdeen, the quickest that they've scored so far. Canning. For Gibson, difficult bounce for Broadfoot to judge, but he dealt with it well. Miller. Swales there ahead of Boyd. Davis. Miller. Guarded forward for Mendes. Miller taking a sore one, just a knock to the back of the head, but he's okay. Akins. McCarthy. Went shoulder to shoulder with Thompson. Referee was happy with the decision. Neil tried to get there ahead of Beasley. Thought that he just shepherded out of play for a throw. The ball didn't go. Now Miller. Plenty to his right, including Kirk Broadfoot here, who's got Davis ahead of him. Mendes in the centre. Boyd is there as well. It's delivered towards Boyd. Great goal from Rangers. Classic counter-attacking football. And Chris Boyd, from under the shadow of the bar, scores his second. Rangers have turned it around.
Well, it all ends in a great finish, but look at this for a ball. Now, Boyd, is he just ahead there? It looks like he is to me. I'll tell you what, when the ball does come, that is an excellent finish. He just guides it in. I think he goes a little bit too early for me. And Canning there looking for the offside, but yet again, it's a good move from Rangers. All started with Kenny Miller in the midfield area, held the ball up so well, moved out to the right-hand side. It's a great cross, and yet again, exactly where you want him to be though. Chris Boyd, 2 goals.
He's trying to get it through for Lucas Akins, who stopped. He's claiming the corner, and he has been given it as well. He's first of this second half, and he scored from a corner. Will they be able to get themselves back on level terms? Plenty forward. Mensing is there. Everyone's standing right around Alan McGregor as well, with the exception of Easton, who will time his run from slightly deeper. Top of Papac's head. Canning is in there. Goalkeeper tries to punch it clear. And Davis eventually will be able to get it away, and he's done better than that's a goal kick.
Walter Smith took the decision to bring Boyd back into it, and yet again it's paid dividends. It's not been the brightest of games for Rangers, but yet when they've got the ball in the box they've caused some problems. Boyd with the penalty, and then a great finish with a header there, although I do think he was offside.
McLennan, Akins. Not the first disputed goals that have been scored this week. Contentious offside decisions. It was a very close one.
You also have to give credit though to the move that set it all up. It was the best football that Rangers have played this afternoon. It's all very well set up, and the first time they managed to get Hamilton from one side, shifted right over, and that meant they were bared down the right-hand side, where Davis took full advantage with a fantastic ball in, just a guided ball in the wind. And Boyd, well, it was a cushioned header. Very difficult. Nothing really seems too difficult for him in those situations.
McClenaghan. Easton. Akins. Alex Neil. Easton invited forward. Gibson. Davis's touch takes it out for a Hamilton throw.
Normally we'd say that Rangers should go on and win from here, but I don't know today. Hamilton have played well so far. They're still in this one.
It's well done by Mendes. Now the opportunity for Rangers to break again. Boyd's made a run from inside his own half. They're ahead of Swales. Run back well by Mensing. Now McCarthy. McCarthy with time to turn. Akins. Just couldn't get Gibson in time. I said earlier that he would be spotlighted today, but is this onside? Any part of his body that can score, if that's too far forward, then he's offside. And his head just seemed to be goal side of Canning net.
Absolutely. Yeah, he just goes a little bit too soon. I don't think he has to. You are talking just a split decision there as far as when he should have gone. But certainly when he did go, for me, he's in an offside position.
Keith Sorby and Stephen Craven are the assistant referees today. And in all fairness, a very difficult one to judge with a move that speed on the counter-attack. Certainly you can understand why the flag stayed down. Papac. Hamilton had that good start to the season, and very important that they got off to a winning start. They can't get themselves back on terms here. It will be 7 defeats in the last 8 league games. 9 points from the first 10 matches. General consensus is that they have been better than 9 points in 10 games would suggest.
The one thing is they haven't been drawing matches, so they're win or lose. Sometimes that works for you. If you are going to play it that way, you do have to try and steal a lot more 3 points. So far, they haven't managed to do that, and they are on a bad run. Luck hasn't really been with them today either.
Now McClenaghan, alive to the presence of Beasley, coming in from his blind side. Ball in from Miller. Too far ahead of Boyd, who, had he made contact, would surely have completed his hat-trick.
Again, it's that ball in between goalkeeper and defence. Boyd just a yard or so away from it.
Play by Weir. Turned by McClenaghan. Lucas Akins will chase that game lead, but he's had a play for a goal kick.
Well, we watched Celtic. Inverness, under par performance, managed to get the 3 points. Are we going to see the same thing again today? Because certainly it hasn't been the best performance from Rangers to this point, but we managed to get those 2 goals. As we've already said a number of times, and as you can see at home, conditions are terrible.
Mensing. Change of direction, bought himself some space. Here's Trent McLennan. Canning. MacArthur. Alex Neil. Easton to his left. Mensing trying to make something of it. He's got a corner.
MacArthur and McCarthy are pushing a little bit further up, closer to Aikens. That may help him.
Easton again waiting, and it's delivered in deep towards him. Boyd is underneath it, got his head to it. MacArthur beaten by Mendes, and then Beasley's touch was an important one. Rangers able to alleviate the danger for the time being. Back from Gibson. Mensing.
Well, Mensing's form hasn't been the best of late, but I'll tell you what, today he's played so well in there.
Boyd. Miller. Now Papach. Mensing there ahead of Boyd. Challenged by MacArthur. Easton. Forward towards Aikens. Has rejuvenated his career after his move north. He was released by Huddersfield at the end of last season. He'd had a loan spell in the Blue Square Premier with Northwich Victoria as well. Played well on trial. Aikens given a contract by Billy Reid, and certainly Billy's shown faith in him today. Different kind of striker in many ways to Richard Offiong, who waits in the wings today. More attacking options on the bench, Graham and Corcoran. Both can be called upon by Billy Reid if necessary. Easton. And Bagheera able to shepherd it out of play. And it is a corner. He thought it was a goal kick. These set pieces might be Hamilton's most likely avenue towards an equaliser. A little bit lower and flatter, Papach could clear as MacArthur helps it back in. Bosnians there again.
When Hamilton do get a chance to get the ball in the box, they have to get right in the box, in the mix, so to speak, not first post, first man. Makes it too easy for Rangers.
It's a Rangers ball. These two teams will meet again in the Co-op Cup quarter-final on Tuesday. I'm sure both will trade victory for that night. Victory that night for a victory this afternoon. It's Rangers that have the lead at the moment. 2 goals from that man, Chris Boyd. Here's Miller. Beasley made the run in towards the near post. The ball went deeper.
Yeah, Miller getting a little bit more success down that right-hand side in the second half. Just means you can get a little bit more space out there. So congested centrally.
Hold. Punch.
You know, the conditions don't get much worse than this. Driving wind and rain. Credit to the players, they are trying to play football.
Broadfoot. Mendes. Neil. Carter trying to take it on. Akins just too far ahead of Mensing. Again, not helped by the wind seemingly picking that up for him. Mensing can't keep it in. If Hamilton were to lose today, it would be the first time for 9.5 years that they've lost 5 league games in a row in the same season. But there's certainly been plenty of positives that Billy Reid will be able to take from today. Scoreline, not one of them at the moment.
Careful, careful.
Miller. Boyd tried to turn, Canning made sure that he couldn't. Davis has done really well to keep that alive. Papac is in support for him. Papac's ball in for Boyd. Couldn't sit up for him to get it in on the turn. And then Kenny Miller stumbled.
Yeah, well, that's not great from a Hamilton point of view. A couple of times in the last few minutes, Boyd getting the ball in the box, back to goal in his favourite position. Canning, so far, just managing to shepherd him.
Miller. And still Kenny Miller, he's done brilliantly, he'll have to take it on himself. Out comes the goalkeeper, Boyd trying to get to the loose ball first, but it was Easton that did. Miller stayed down hurt. Chris Boyd was in an offside position. Miller appreciated that and had to, having nudged it into space, try and take it on himself.
The tempo of the game's just gone a little bit slower, and that is suiting Rangers at the moment. Being able to get on the ball, make passes. Hamilton not quite able to press as high up the park as they were in the first half. Can't win the ball back. And that's given Rangers the majority of possession.
It's Mendes. That's a lovely pass. Boyd makes a run in towards the near post as Broadfoot trying to wrap his foot around it. The Rangers have to make do with the corner. Broadfoot waiting in the centre. Bagheera's there as well. Hit it by Davis. Miller looked for the near post flick. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Hamilton preparing to make a double substitution here. Mentioned earlier that the 3 men that started up front for them last week, Corcoran, Graham and Offiong, all left out today, but 2 of them are coming on here midway through the second half. Gibson and Akins, the 2 Hamilton players that depart the scene, and on come Davy Graham and Mark Corcoran.
Well, as I said earlier, I don't think Billy Reid's put a foot wrong yet. He was able to see there that the home side had gone a little bit flat, just lacked a little bit of punch. We've certainly got that now.
Corcoran almost a perennial substitute. Made his first SPL start of the season last weekend, but 9 of his 11 Hamilton appearances of this second spell at the club have seen him come off the bench.
Graham has managed to get a couple of goals this season already, so he can sniff one out. It just means that Hamilton have got to try and get higher up the park.
Exactly his leading scorer, David Graham, with 3 so far. Mendes throwing himself into the challenge. Broadfoot caught by MacArthur. Play goes on. Miller. Papac. Beasley. Kenny Miller working it onto his right foot. Can he work the angle as well? His first contribution, appeals for handball against Davis. Mendes. His pressure has forced Rangers back to Weir. Papac. Header away by Swales. McCarthy. Now, James McArthur looking for McCarthy. Nudged away from Davis, but only to Kirk Broadfoot. Hamilton able to get their foot on the ball, really. Create too much. Beasley. Challenged by Mensing. Papac. Miller. Davis trying to help it in. Graham that can bring it away. And bring it away very well. He's only been on a few moments, but he's mastered the conditions seemingly. Corcoran's offside.
Yeah, they have to get hold of it a bit more, as they were doing in the first half, get the passing going again. That seems to have disappeared a little bit in the second half.
Canning able to shepherd that out of play.
The difference as well is that Rangers have passed the ball better. Certainly enjoyed watching Kenny Miller and the amount of work that he puts in for his side. So unselfish as a striker. Recognises that his team are not always on the ball, but he's trying to stretch Hamilton as much as possible, and then he gets his head up to find his striking partner.
McArthur. Beasley. Thompson for Boyd, and Beasley's continued his run, but Canning would have got there first had the pass been on target.
Yeah, it's just not a day for over-complicating things. So with Rangers' second goal, it was very simple. Get the ball wide, decent delivery in the box. Try and get on the end of it.
You could argue that it's games like this that will secure Hamilton's SPL status. It's which is like Motherwell away, which is what they face next week. Falkirk, currently bottom of the SPL, the next team to come here. Followed by Papac.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. Nothing really to lose for Hamilton today. They've acquitted themselves well.
Neil surreptitiously stealing a foot or so. Away by Miller. Now Chris Boyd. And now Beasley, and the break is on here. Beasley trying to get the ball out from under his feet. And that moment's hesitation allowed McCarthy to come back and make the tackle.
Beasley has had a few injuries this season, not played that many games. I wouldn't be surprised if he's coming off the park at some point. And just to say that, it looks like Novo will be coming on and Beasley will be going off. It's not really been his game, Beasley, today.
Forced wide by Neil. Broadfoot saw it coming. Now Davis. Boyd trying to find himself some space. He's done it cleverly. Good save. What a good save. Thomas Czerny with a very important touch on it.
It was. Boyd made himself available yet again, and you can see exactly what he's trying to do, and he was going to be able to do it as well. The wind was helping. He was using the wind, started very wide, but Czerny was up to it.
Boyd denied a hat-trick. DeMarcus Beasley denied. The full 90 minutes, he'll be replaced by Nacho Novo. Much talk about Nacho possibly getting a British passport, being part of the Scotland team. Today he plays his 300th game in Scottish football. Here comes the corner, Boyd. A chance.
Yet again makes just half a yard for himself. And that, for him, it's a very, very good chance.
Conditions not getting any better. Corcoran's touch behind MacArthur. Miller. Davis. Broadfoot again, makes his way forward, but it's a poor pass. Broadfoot, to his credit, rescued it. Mendes for Novo. Wide by McClenaghan. Miller. In towards Chris Boyd. Davis.
Yet again from Boyd, that's what he gives you. He gets himself into an area there, and he knows that all he's got to do is get a touch back. As long as you've got a midfield runner, someone in support, you've always got a chance.
McClenaghan. Mensing. Nice ball by Mensing. Graham able to keep it in. Running with real intent at Broadfoot. Certainly been the most direct of Hamilton's attackers since he's come on, and he's won a free kick here in a promising position.
Very strong in there, next to MacArthur. It's helped him out a lot.
Corner difficult for McGregor, but he was under unfair duress from Simon Mensing.
See that Mensing just plants himself on McGregor. Well, I don't see too much wrong with that again. It's just a forward-thinking player getting himself in front of the goalkeeper. It's up to the goalkeeper to make sure that he can get a strong hand to it.
Yeah, speaks a fully paid-up member of the Strikers Union. Davison out of play for a throw. It's about this stage that Rangers conceded to St Mirren in their last game. Hamilton, who consistently struggled for goals, creating nearly as many chances as Billy Reid would be expecting or wanting.
Hamilton are certainly not holding back. Mensing's up there in attack now. So Billy Reid is going for it. He wants to try and get something out of this match.
Miller. MacArthur. Giving more than 20 years today, Davy Weir, to James McCarthy. You wouldn't know it, it's been another solid performance from the vastly experienced centre-half. Now Novo, and he's got through after the defensive error, and Nacho Novo seals it for Rangers. Off the bench, on the goal sheet, 3-1 Rangers.
exactly the kind of goal that Nacho Novo scores, isn't it? Cashing in on a defensive lapse and making no mistake. Hesitation, Canning doesn't get the touch right, and that gives it all to Nacho Novo. That kills off for Rangers. You can certainly say that Walter Smith's change in tactics as well has worked. Beasley off, 3 up front, Novo on the score sheet.
His 300th game in Scottish football, bringing goal number 109. And surely sealing the 3 points for Rangers. McCarthy. And still James McCarthy has a lovely reverse ball. Oh, such a good cross from Ray.
Wasn't to be. I think now the game certainly is over.